back, everybody. Matt the Matt here. Hope you're doing well. We got a new review today for you called Dumb Money. This movie is based on that GameStop stock back in 2020. All those people got rich and something to do with Robin Hood. Dumb Money. I was looking forward to this movie when I first heard about it. The trailers looked good. I actually like the director a lot, Craig Gillespie. I think that's how you say his last name. He's done movies like Mars and the Real Girl with Ryan Gosling. He did movies like $1 Million Arm with John Hamm, that baseball movie for Disney. He did movies like I, Tonya with Margot Robbie, dealing with the figure skater. And he also did one of my favorite, probably vampire movies in the past 10 plus years, the remake of Fright Night with the late Anton Yelchin, Colin Farrell, Toni Collette. That's actually one of my favorite movies to watch during the Halloween time. And he also recently did the Cruella movie with Emma Stone on Disney, for Disney, which is actually one of the better Disney live action dealing with a villain, better than Maleficent, in my opinion. So like I said, I like him as a director. And this looked like something in the vein of The Big Short meets The Wolf of Wall Street. And guess what? It is. If you're a fan of The Wolf of Wall Street, if you're a fan of The Big Short, I think you're gonna love this movie. I would actually put this right in the middle of both of them. It's not as good as The Wolf of Wall Street, but what movie's better than The Wolf of Wall Street? Come on. But I think it's better than The Big Short. It was like right in the middle. And I like The Big Short. The Big Short is a really good movie. But I actually enjoyed this a lot more. Also, funny enough, in the movie, they have a lot of meta, not really meta, but pop culture references. And they actually do show a scene from The Big Short with Christian Bale rocking out on his drums. And then they have a scene from The Wolf of Wall Street with Matthew McConaughey. Anyway, and even funnier, no, I got a big kick out of that. I'm like, oh my god, they actually got a scene. This movie is being compared to The Wolf of Wall Street and The Big Short. And they literally got a scene from both of those movies in this movie. Let's get into it though. Positives. This cast might be up there with like Oppenheimer in terms of one of the biggest casts you could have in a movie. I mean, Oppenheimer was like, there are actors in Oppenheimer that people didn't even realize were going to be in Oppenheimer, and we're like, holy shit, that is Gary Oldman. What the fuck? And this movie is the same. I'm gonna give you a list of all the actors in this movie. We got Paul Dano, who's the main lead. We got Shailene Woodley. We got Seth Rogen. We got Nick Offerman. We got Pete Davidson. We got Sebastian Stan. We got America Ferrera. We got Anthony Ramos. We got Dane DeHaan. We got Vincent D'Onofrio. We got Clancy Brown. We got Kate Burton. Now some people might be like, who? If you watch Grey's Anatomy, Meredith Grey's mom, the actress that plays Meredith Grey's mom, is Kate Burton. We got Talia Ryder. And we got Olivia Thirlby. I mean, this movie is stacked. Not as much as Oppenheimer, but, I mean, you got a lot of major actors in this movie. So the acting, the cast is just awesome. Paul Dano, Paul Dano, people, we know Paul Dano means he plays a lot of serious roles. I was just talking about Prisoners. The Batman, that's the Riddler. There Will Be Blood is known for being serious. In Dumb Money, he is hilarious. He is funny. He has a real sense of humor, personality. I was like, I want to see more of this from him. I like the serious roles, but, I like to see more of a personality, more fun, and he really brings it. Shailene Woodley plays his wife in the movie. She's good. Pete Davidson plays his brother. He's hilarious. He works for DoorDash. When you watch what he does with the DoorDash deliveries, you're going to wonder if people do that to your food when you get it delivered. America Ferrera, we saw her in Barbie earlier in the summer. It's funny to see her now in 2 movies, major films, back to back. She's really good. She plays a nurse. And I'm going to get into that in a little bit. And then we got Anthony Ramos, who actually works at a GameStop store in the mall. So, I didn't even realize Clancy Brown was in here. He plays Paul Dano's father. And I'm like, damn, it's Clancy Brown. So the whole cast is excellent, especially Paul Dano. The editing, this movie is fast. This is a quick edited film. Once again, it reminds me of The Wolf of Wall Street. Quick editing, quick pacing, even The Big Short. I think the editing is really well done here. Humor, this movie is hilarious. Throughout the entire movie, a lot of it from Paul Dano, Pete Davidson, some of the pop culture stuff they have on to kind of explain stuff is really funny. The music in here, the soundtrack, very rated R music. I couldn't believe some of the stuff. The music that they have just opening the movie. I was like, wow, this feels like a Wolf of Wall Street movie. Not to mention there's a college scene in here that reminded me a little bit of The Social Network at a frat party. 2 girls doing something. I was just saying, okay, now we're really heading into the Wolf of Wall Street territory. What I like about this movie is it goes into these characters. Once again, this happened in 2020, right after the pandemic. It was like in the fall of 2020, going into 2021. And yes, we all know it's only 3 years ago. Scary it's already been 3 years. But it's a relevant story. I like how they go into these characters. Like I said, we go into Paul Dano and Shailene Woodley. They're a couple. They have a 1-year-old daughter. They're struggling financially. We go into America Ferrera. She's a nurse. Dealing with COVID. Dealing with all the pandemic. Getting the vaccine. She's a single parent. She's struggling. We got Anthony Ramos, Hispanic, working at a GameStop. We're seeing these lives, these real people's lives. And it makes the film more, we can connect more with these characters. I like The Big Short, but I watched that movie and I go, I don't connect with anyone. What happened and how they tell that story is interesting, and editing and acting and pop culture stuff like Margot Robbie explaining stuff. But I don't feel that connection with the characters. Here, I connect with these characters. America Ferrera, like I said, she's a nurse. My mom's a nurse. She had to work during the pandemic. She was one of the first people, since she was a nurse, had to get one of the COVID vaccine in order to, continue working in the hospital. So that is stuff that I look at and go, I can connect with that. I've been there. I've seen that, And then we got, people wearing masks during that time. In the restaurants. At work. Put your mask on. Put your mask on. The only thing I didn't deal with was the people in college having their teachers be like, put your mask on. I was like, You want me to learn or you want me to put my mask on? But there's a lot of stuff in here that a lot of people, almost anyone during 2020, can relate to. The script. I think the script was really well done. I mean, like I said, it focuses on the characters. It tells you the story that happened during that time, but also doesn't forget the characters. Like, we have a scene where Paul Dano, his brother, Pete Davidson, Paul Dano's wife, Shailene Woodley, Clancy Brown, and Kate Burton go to a cemetery because one of their, Paul Dano's sister, died of COVID. You know, that is very relatable. A lot of people died during COVID. Even someone in my own family died during the pandemic. That's something people can relate to. And I like those little moments. You know, the college girl gets into this stuff because her college, she has so much college loans to pay back. Most people understand that. You know, having to pay back your college loans. So there is stuff for everybody in this movie to relate to and also realize, yeah, we went through that. We went through the pandemic. So I really like that. And they don't harp on the pandemic. They don't harp on the vaccine. They don't harp on the mask. But it's in there because that is what happened at the time. Like I said, I think Craig Gillespie did a great job on the movie. The acting was very good, the pacing, the dialogue, connecting with the characters. So once again, I think he did another great job as a director. And then this movie's only an hour and 40 minutes. It's like an hour and 44, but probably before credits about an hour and 40. It's quick, it moves, it tells the story, it doesn't linger, there's no fat in this movie. I was like, oh yeah, you can take that scene out. No. In fact, I would almost say I have one negative with this movie, but I would say this movie could have been a little bit longer for a certain aspect, and I'm going to get into that. But overall, I really think this movie is a very good movie. One of the best movies so far this year. The only negative is with the Sebastian Stan character, who is the one behind the Robin Hood scheme that was going on. I wish they delved more into that, because I think that was the only part of the movie that was a little undercooked. I think if they spent another 5 or so minutes and explained that more and delved into that a little bit deeper, I think it would have been really, like I said, I wouldn't have any negatives, but other than that one. It was a great movie, great cast, and I think this is one of those movies almost like The Social Network, where The Social Network to me is more like the most relevant movie in the 21st century. Everyone is on Facebook. And then the story and the themes in that movie and everything are very relevant. This is another movie where it's very relevant. I think even 10, 20 years from now, people are going to watch this movie and go, yes, I remember that time. The pandemic. The vaccine. Having to wear masks all the time. No, I think this movie is a very important movie. Very relevant. It's fun. A lot of humor, like The Wolf of Wall Street meets The Big Short. So, if you like those movies, I think you're really going to like this movie. So like that, I would go 4.9 out of 5. Matt the Brat here. Let me know, did you see Dumb Money? I hope you didn't think it was dumb.